drive with a leg injury, up to $1.3 million. $4.8 million.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
$6 million.
I would say that car is too expensive, man. Have y'all ever seen a rare car? Well, today we're going to be looking at the world's rarest cars.
From a tailor-made Ferrari that you can drive with a leg injury, to the most expensive car ever sold. These are the rarest cars in the world, ranked from the cheapest to the most expensive. Up first, a 1986 Ferrari Testarossa Spider commissioned by the former chairman of Fiat, Gianni Agnelli. As the only official convertible variant of the Testarossa, Ferrari spared no expenses to make sure that this car is truly personalized for Agnelli. The Testarossa Spider is installed with a unique Valeo transmission system that allows it to switch between a 5-speed manual or automatic with a click of a button to allow Agnelli, who has a leg injury, to comfortably drive with a top speed of 180 miles per hour. The car's silver theme, all the way from its Argento exterior to the tiniest details such as the stallion logo made out of the same material, just goes to show Ferrari's respect for Agnelli, as silver has the symbol AG in the periodic table. This car ended up being auctioned in 2016 by the family friend who bought the car from Agnelli, fetching up to $1.3 million.
This car costs $1 million. I wonder how much the rarest car in the world costs.
Ferrari seems to be in the business of giving great gifts to their loyal customers. And what a better way to celebrate the luxury brand's anniversary than to release a limited edition car. That's what Ferrari Japan did back in 2016 when they announced the Japan market only Ferrari J50. Based on the 488 Spider, the Ferrari J50 is infused with a more modern twist, giving way to the sleek, low-slung roadster that answers the needs of its Japanese clients. A beauty on the outside, a beast on the inside is a fitting description for this car, as it comes packed with a 680 brake horsepower, a 3.9-litre, two-twin turbocharged V8 that could send this car shooting from 0 to 62 miles per hour in 3 seconds flat. As if the car could not be more exclusive, the price of the car itself would remain a mystery until one was listed for sale in 2021 with an exact price of around $3.6 million.
I ain't gonna say I can't, but that car is too expensive, man.
Now, if you're wondering why this one has the Nero Daytona exterior finish, this is because each purchase of the J50 itself would come with unique customizations based on the buyer's needs, as part of Ferrari's Fioriseri tradition. Really, just how rare can a car be? But we'll bet that you have never heard of a car that becomes rare because of how complicated it is to make one. Meet the 2009 Koenigsegg CC-XR Trevita. The name Trevita alone is actually a Swedish abbreviation for 3 whites.
Okay.
So there should be 3 white Koenigsegg CC-XR Trevitas, right? Wrong. You see, for the CC-XR Trevita, Koenigsegg developed the breakthrough diamond weave carbon fiber coating, turning the famous black carbon fibers you often see on car parts into the silvery white color of the car. But this process is so complex and pricey that Koenigsegg themselves decided to only make 2 of them. After all, the more exclusive a car, the more expensive it would be, right? Koenigsegg must have made the right call, because not only is it the rarest model they have released, but it was priced at a whopping $4.8 million.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
For a car that sparkles like millions of tiny white diamonds,
What the fuck?
it would appropriately end up in the collection of the pretty boy Floyd Mayweather.
Do you see me laughing, my nigga?
It was released in 2010, further elevating the prestige of this car. And if you think that that price tag is hefty, take a look at the classic car that would top the CC-XR Trevita's price at $5.5 million. With a name as gnarly as the Super Snake Cobra and a reputation as the Cobra to end all Cobras, it is no surprise that this car would be valued that high during an auction in 2007. But more than just a name and a reputation, Carroll Shelby really wanted this car to be the fastest and the meanest car on the road when he built it in 1966. So he stuffed in the car a twin supercharged 7-litre V8 engine capable of 800 horsepower, installed a taller hood to make space for his supercharger, and a large nose opening to optimize airflow and eat any living being that the car comes across. Just kidding about the large nose opening, but the meanest? We're dead serious about it. This car was known to be so dangerous that even Bill Cosby, who received it as a gift, decided to sell the car after driving it and finding out how hard it was to control.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
But the next unassuming victim of the Super Snake Cobra, Tony Maxey, would not only receive a speeding ticket from the Californian Highway Patrol, but would eventually lose control of the car, causing it to dive straight off a cliff and into the Pacific Ocean. The injuries were so bad, he would eventually die a few days later from the injury. That crash would also result in only one Super Snake Cobra left in the world, belonging to the only person who could tame this beast, Carroll Shelby. Aside from an engine considered to be too powerful for the chassis of this car, this 2,550-pound car would be even more dangerous to drive when the engine gets hotter, as the aluminium body would be susceptible to thermal expansion. Which begs the question, how is this car even considered street legal? Now, none of the cars in this list would even exist if it weren't for this next car. Sure, it only has 10 horsepower, but the 1904 Rolls-Royce Type A is probably one of the oldest surviving proof of how far we've come when it comes to car engineering. This car that was auctioned off in 2007 for $7.2 million with chassis number 20154 would have greater historical significance, as it is among the first 4 cars under the Rolls-Royce brand, made after their marketing agreement in 1904. And the oldest car of the brand to survive. And speaking of old cars, we've got the Bugatti Type 41 Royale at number 6. A car that truly embodies living large with an overall length of 21 feet, around 169-inch wheelbase, and a weight of around 7,000 pounds. Heck, even the wheels themselves are 21 inches. To be able to get that enormous mass of a car to drive, an airplane engine was used as a blueprint for the Bugatti's engine. Ettore Bugatti ended up developing a 12.8-litre inline 8-cylinder engine with 300 horsepower, and surprisingly, the car would be able to drive up to 124 miles per hour, compared to the average stock cars of the time that would only go around 40 to 50 miles per hour. The Type 41 is also balanced when you drive it at speed thanks to the masterfully crafted chassis construction. Now, you might think that this car would be owned by the richest of the rich and royalty. You're half right. Despite the name and Ettore Bugatti's intention to sell it off to royalties across Europe, this thing called the Great Depression would only lead to 4 out of 6 Type 41s being sold, while the rest were kept by the Bugatti family until one was finally auctioned for $9.7 million in 1986. Returning to the present day and reaching past the $10 million mark, check out the Lamborghini Veneno Carbon Fiber Edition at number 7. Now, Lamborghini Veneno themselves are already rare, as only 13 are available worldwide. But Dubai-based dealership First Motors went above and beyond in making the Veneno all the more venerable and pricey, as it is priced at over $10 million. Although the power of the car seems to remain the same compared to other Venenos, such as the 6.5-litre naturally aspirated V12 engine at 750 horsepower and a top speed of around 220 miles per hour, the matte carbon fiber body panels and a chassis made with the same material, the carbon fiber edition's lighter weight will surely give it an undeniable edge, aside from how powerful the car already looks. But not as many cars can look more elegant in all black compared to the 2019 Bugatti La Voiture Noire. Based on the existing Bugatti Chiron, the 2019 Bugatti La Voiture Noire caused a massive buzz when it was launched at the 2019 Geneva Motor Show, and it was bought not long after for $18.7 million by an unnamed buyer. The elegant design of the car was received so well by loyal Bugatti customers that they ended up creating 20 budget versions of the La Voiture Noire in the same year for 1/6 of the true car, priced at $3.3 $1.3 million. Bugatti truly focused on the aesthetics of this car, and it shows, as the car has no major engine specification changes from the Chirons. But does it really matter when it looks this tasteful? Taking inspiration from their long history as a coach builder, the La Voiture Noire is slightly bigger than the Chiron, but beyond that, the bodywork is said to be a modern take on the famous Type 57 SC Atlantic. More references to the brand's legacy can be found in the sloped rear end and the flared rear wheel arches, taken from Bugatti models of the 40s, and the 6 exhaust tips, taken from the 57 SC Atlantic. Up next at number 9, worthily priced over $50 million, the 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO. In 2018, a 1963 Ferrari 250 GTO with the chassis number 4153 GT would be sold on auction for a total of $70 million. But how did it get so expensive? The Ferrari 250 GTO, produced from 1962 to 1964 for a total of 39 examples, is definitely not as rare as the other cars in this list. But this car has always been exclusive, as even when it was first released in the United States, you would have to get Enzo Ferrari's approval to own one. More than that, this car is a living testament to the races it won and to Ferrari's history. During its heyday, the Ferrari 250 GTO would go on to win over 300 races in its class, from the 1962 and 1963 Le Mans 24-hour race, the Nürburgring 1000 km, and the Tour de France in 1963 and 1964. As it is hand-built, each car can be considered unique on its own. Intended to be a race car, each car released in this line would receive improvements upon improvements for both the body and engine parts, such as the ones on the 1964 Series 2 250 GTOs. Commonly, the difference between each car can be found in the air intake or vent configuration. The 250 GTO with chassis number 4153 in particular is considered one of the top 4 from all the existing cars in the line. Miraculously for a race car, the particular car never sustained a serious crash. Additionally, when it was sold, it had been reunited with the car's original engine that was used to win the 1964 Tour de France, the 3.0-litre Colombo V12 engine with 300 brake horsepower. In the years to come, Ferrari historians expect that the 250 GTOs will have a value of over $100 million. But until then, the car priced at over $100 million would go to a Mercedes that was kept away for half a century, coming in at number 10. Back in 2022, Mercedes-Benz set out to establish itself once again as a manufacturer of luxury cars. And this statement couldn't be clearer when a Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR Uhlenhaut Coupe was sold in an auction for $142 million after the car was stored away for over half a century at the Stuttgart Museum. The 300 SLR itself was designed to be a 24-hour track race car until 2 out of 9 that were made were turned into a prototype for a road version. Known as the Uhlenhaut Coupe, as one of them was driven by the company's design chief Rudolf Uhlenhaut following the cancellation of the Mercedes-Benz racing program, the prototypes retain the coupe style and gull-wing doors of the track version. Despite being designed as a road version, these prototypes were considered the fastest road cars of their time, capable of reaching up to 180 miles per hour. And if you like expensive cars, check out our list of the most expensive cars of 2024.
What is he doing?
He's beginning to believe.